Hello everybody and welcome to another mystery box function challenge. In the purple box there's some mystery math. You can pause this video, go to the link in the description, and then put in as many numbers as you like in the top and see how they're transformed as they come out the bottom. And use that information to see if you can tell what's inside the mystery box. When you think you've got it, come on back, listen to the rest of the video and see if you get what I get. All right, let's begin here. I'm going to put in a 0. 0 gives us 0. Okay, how about 1? Oh, 1 gives us 4, so we've got maybe a steep line with a slope of positive 4. Let's try a 2. That should be up at 8 if that's the case. And it's not. So we've got some kind of curve here. So what could this be? It might be a downward facing parabola. Let's try 3. So interesting numbers, long decimals there. So they're not like fractions that I recognize by the decimal. And that curve, I suppose it could still be a parabola, but it looks like it might be something else. Let me try a 4. And 4 is at 8. Huh. I think I have a hunch about this. I'm actually going to put in a negative number, and I think we're going to get an error. Yeah, okay. And I think we could put in any negative number, and that would be the case. And then I think I'm going to put in one more out on the right of the graph here. I'm going to put in, let's say, well, let's put in a 9. And that's off the graph. It's a 12. Okay, so this shape is what gave me the clue. It's a curve that continues going up but gets less and less steep the further it goes up. It's very steep here, but not so steep here. In this little section, it's got a slope of positive 4, but by here it's a slope of positive 1. And then nothing can be on the negative side. We get an error if we do that. So what function does that seem like to me? It seems like the square root, although it doesn't look exactly like the square root that I'm familiar with seeing, just plain old square root of x. But I think the square root of x is in here somewhere, and I don't think there's anything plus or minus inside the radical sign, because our beginning of the function here, 0 is at 0. It's right there at the origin, and I don't think there's anything added because it's not been moved up or down either. I think what's happened here is that we have a multiplier. And we've seen multipliers on quadratics and absolute values that stretch or shrink, squish the functions. And I think the same thing is going on here. And since this goes, a normal a square root of x, we'd have, the square root of 1 is 1, the square root of 4 is 2. It would be going out like that. We have one that's much taller, so I think we're multiplying by a number greater than 1. And what would that be? Well, let's look at some that give us good whole numbers here as our output. So if I put in 1 there, if I took the square root of 1, that would be 1. How would I turn that into a 4? Well, I think I'd multiply it by 4. Does that check out with this one if I put in 4? So if we put in 4 and take the square root and then multiply it by 4, well, the square root of 4 is 2, and 2 times 4 is 8, and we put in a 4, we got an 8. So that seems to check out. Let's try one more number. What would happen if I put in a 4? So I'd take the square root of 4. Sorry, what if I put in we put in a 4 already. What if I put in a 16? We'd take the square root of 16 and then multiply it by 4. Well, the square root of 16 is 4, and 4 times 4 is 16. So if I put in 16, I should get 16 out. So let's try that. 16 and 16. So here's 16. Do I get 16 out? Yeah, I do. Okay, I think we've cracked it here. So this looks like f of x is 4 times the square root of x. So let's take a look. And there it is. Yes, 4 times the square root of x. Let's go ahead and graph that as well. And there's that, tapering curve that goes up, in this case, pretty quickly because of the 4 multiplier, but gets gentler and gentler, less and less steep as it goes on. Well, how did that one go? I think the numbers on that one were pretty tough, not giving you a lot of clues about what it was. Were you able to tell that this might be a square root from the shape? Let me know. Thanks, everybody.